Hi, second grade parents and students, ready for a new week of e-learning. We have our new school counselor guidance lesson board right here, so make sure to click on that each week. Continuing with our class meetings. When we go to reading this week, we have session 13 where students are going to be completing a book review. That is their optional activity on Seesaw. Also, on Wednesday, we have our last two chapters of the Magic Treehouse with Miss Leon. Make sure to check those out. On Thursday, make sure you're watching session 14. For your graded activity on Friday, they're completing a book talk. So there's some more directions down here. After mini lesson 13, students are choosing a book, rating the book out of 5 stars, using the draw tool or the mic to explain their rating, fill in the character, setting, and main events, and then they can submit that journal for an option. The graded activity is where they're going to be doing their book talk, taking a picture of their book cover, telling them why they recommend it, giving us some more information about the book and why they think that others should read the book. For writing this week, we're going to listen to Miss Leon read Pinky and Rex and the Bully, and then she's going to reference back to that read aloud for the rest of the week in writing. So make sure you're checking out mini lesson 13 and mini lesson 14. After mini lesson 13, they're going to begin their own nomination letter where they can revise the one that they started last week, or they can start a new one. After mini lesson 14, they're going to be writing a letter comparing the two books from a series or with similar characters or themes. So that's what Mrs. Leon did. So make sure to check that one out. For the Pinky and Rex book, we have some things that you can be jotting down, thinking about the characters as you're reading, listing 1 to 2 opinions. In their nomination letter, they need to make sure to include the title of the book, their opinion, use a quote from the book, and make sure to use quotation marks. Their nomination letter with quotes on Seesaw, and also writing comparison about books. Both of those are activities for them to complete in writing. For word study, continuing with grammar talks, our activity this week is using a simple sentence with an opener and a comma, so focusing on that. In math this week, we're continuing personal financial literacy. We're focusing on producers and consumers and goods and services. Once they know those vocabulary words, they're going to talk about how to calculate the cost. If they're a producer, they are figuring out how much money they would need to spend on supplies, and then how much they would want to sell their product or their service for. So we're using math there for that. The optional activity is deciding between a producer or a consumer. On Friday, their graded activity is using math to calculate the cost. All on Seesaw. For science this week, continuing with the butterfly life cycle, going to STEMscopedia and reading. Optional is a butterfly life cycle unplugged coding activity. They usually love those in school, so that would be a great activity for them to do. We've got brain pop butterfly, and then work as a team if you can to complete this digital breakout. Digital breakouts are fun but challenging, so you might need to help your students with this. For social studies, we are going to start working with financial literacy as well. So continuing with income, goods and services, saving and spending. Math and social studies kind of go together for the next couple of weeks. Their activity to be graded is explaining how work provides income. For their activity on Monday, instead of it being a problem-solving activity, it's going to be modifying the environment HyperDoc, different activities for them to choose from in there. Make sure to open that up and explore. Then we have our specials activities down below. I hope you guys have a great week. As always, reach out to your teachers if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.